Hello and welcome to the video. I'm Shane, this is Dawn of Comics, and we're going to talk about some comics. Today we're talking about the Batman Adventures Mad Love. This is the origin of Harley Quinn, who first appeared in the animated TV show and was so popular she then had to show up in the comics. Obviously, she's awesome. Everyone loves Harley. This is my favourite version of Harley, the Jester version. The pre-New 52 version of Harley is my favourite. Once New 52 hit, they turned her into a carbon copy of the Joker and just made her silly and crazy, in my opinion, and she's a lot more than that. Yes, she's crazy, but she's very, very intelligent. She's so much smarter than anyone gives her credit for, and if you read her original solo run, you'll understand why. So this is my reading copy. I'll buy a cheap copy of books that I love, so I can just grab them and just read them whenever I want. So this is the prestige version. The original version, that's the first print. It's actually a comic. It's got stitches down the spine, or staples, depending on what you want to call them. So that's the original cover. It's just fantastic. We've got homages to this on quite a few other comics. It's fantastic. So this is the first one. I've got that, and then I've got a prestige edition that was printed afterwards. So I've got the first print of that as well. That's the first print, and yes, this is a first print as well. I don't have the second print of this, but I managed to get this banged up old copy for like £5, so I was really happy with that. We also got a collector's edition where they kept the original cover, and then this is Mad Love and Other Stories, so there are some other stories in here from the animated series of Harley and Ivy and stuff like that. Fantastic. So if you can't afford or don't want to spend the money to get a first print of that, and if you want if you want to get one of those, you can, but if you want a cheaper version, just get this. It's the same book. It's just fantastic. You get more because it's Mad Love and Other Stories. They also completely changed the cover for this. This is actually from the Batman Adventures Volume 2, Issue 3. So they've used this for the Mad Love artwork, which is fantastic. This is the colouring book. So everything in there is for you to colour in how you see fit. You don't even have to use the same colours if you don't want. So you get to colour that in as well. So yeah, this was, how much was this? $16. So I must have paid about £12 to £13 for that. So that's a great way, because it's still the same book, so you can buy this to read. So if this is cheaper than Mad Love and Other Stories, and you just want to read it, pick up whichever one's cheaper and read that. Hopefully they'll do a facsimile edition soon, which would be really nice. Or a dollar version, which would be even nicer, getting it for $1. Everyone probably knows what Mad Love is. If you're a Harley fan, you know what Mad Love is. It was the animated episode, which they turned into a book. They did the book, and this was so popular and so good that they actually did an episode for the series based on this, which is awesome. And the artwork inside is spot on for the animated series. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And look at the face on that. Look at a smirk. So this is her proper origin, right back to high school when she used to use her feminine wiles to get I think she got a D-, so she wasn't happy. So give some love to the dean or the teacher and get an A+. So she did that. Sorry, I've got something in my eye. So it shows that she wasn't exactly an innocent when she met the Joker. And that's not to say that she deserves anything that she gets. That's just to say that she wasn't as innocent as everyone thinks. It's not just the Joker's influences that turned her. This is great. They did a figure of this, of her in her nightie with her jester mask on, and this line right here. Don't you want to rev up your Harley? I mean, if that's not a sexual innuendo, then I don't know what is. I mean, and to get away with that in what is probably meant to be a kid's book, because I mean, it's not fair to say that. I said that in a previous episode. It's not fair to say that, because these are great these are adult stories that just disguised to look like kids books. People will get them for their kids. Kids won't get jokes like that. They won't understand it, so it's absolutely fine to put it in there. These are adult reads. I'm going to say it. It's as simple as that, because they're just too well written. You wouldn't spend that much time and effort on a script for a child. I'm not saying that children are stupid, and I'm not saying that children don't deserve good writing. But what I'm saying is, when a book is as well written as this, it's not aimed at children. They knew who this was for. This was for us. This was for the fans. So it starts off, Joker's trying to figure out a plan to stop Batman. It starts off with a foiled dentistry of Detective Gordon. No, Commissioner Gordon. Jesus. So Batman shows up, obviously saves the day. This is how the cartoon starts. The cartoon is pretty much panel for panel as well, which is awesome. So if you haven't seen the episode, I suggest you go and watch the episode as well. And read the book, though, because they're not, even though it looks exactly the same, there are a few things, like I say, with the Rev Up Your Harley and things like that, which aren't on in the cartoon. So you've got some great artwork here. Every page is fantastic, so I'm going to stop talking about the artwork. We could just assume every page is awesome. So we get the Joker's depressed because he wants to come up with a plan to stop Batman, and Sexy Time Harley is getting in his way. So out the door, babe. Out the door. Just go. You've got to go, because you're taking the attention from the old brain up here, and all the attention's going to the brain down there, and we can't have that, can we? So literally out in the garbage, he just throws her out into the rubbish. And she decides that the best way to win back the Joker is to enact her own plan against Batman. And if she can best Batman, then she'll show Joker will have more time for her. That's her plan. I think we all know how that's going to go. And so we then get the flashbacks of Dr. Harley Quinn first joining Arkham Asylum, and she's completely sane. Also, we think she just wants to help people. That's what she says. But the truth is, she doesn't. See, this is where people get it twisted. She doesn't. What she wants is, she wants things for nothing. She doesn't want to work for anything. She just uses her feminine wiles, her sexuality to get what she wants, and it works for her because she gets a top job at Arkham Asylum. And then she wants access to the Joker, and once she has access to the Joker, it starts straight away. I mean, she's obsessed with him, and he knows it, and he plays on that. And then there's a page where in this he says that her name is very similar to Harley Quinn, because her name is Harleen Quinzel. But the truth of the matter is, we find out in later books that she actually whispers to him that her name could be Harley Quinn. So we see her talking to Joker over and over again, and he's giving her different backstories, different sad stories, why he's like he is, and she's buying every one of them. And so she starts to feel bad for him every time Batman beats the crap out of him and sends him back to Arkham. And one day she snaps and just has a go at Batman and just tells him that, she's like, no, you can't be treating people like this. And Batman's like, yeah, I can. So Harleen gets fired because this is inappropriate. This is super inappropriate. So she goes, robs a costume shop and creates a costume. In the Batman Harley Quinn one-shot, which introduces her into the DC universe, it's the same origin, and you see a fun montage of her changing into different clothes. She dresses up as a female Joker, she dresses up as a clown, and then she finally puts on her jester outfit. And we get this amazing panel. Oh, I said I was going to stop talking about the art, didn't I? Well, oops, looks like I lied. Look at that. Look at that page of just Harley just bursting into Arkham to break Joker out. Joker's bandage. But look at this. This is what the statues are modelled on. This is just absolutely, that's Harley. When you think of Harley Quinn, this is what you think of. You think of the red and black and the diamonds and the jester hat and the ruffles. This is what you think of. The pop gun, everything just screams Harley. This is fantastic. So that's her origin. and then she becomes his muscle, and they go and rob places and hurt people, and it's just, yeah, it's what they do. Harley has a little dream of her. Look, they've got Batman's head on the wall. They've actually got Babs and Buster Bunny from the Tiny Toons cartoon up there as well. That was a nice little Warner Brothers little gag because they were both on the same channel. And then they've got kids. Yeah, they've got chubby Joker and chubby Harley kids. How adorable is that? Lucky that's water coming from his flower and not acid. But yeah, so this is her dream. So now she decides to enact a plan. So she goes back in and she finds one of Joker's plans. And his plan is to hang Batman upside down over a tank of piranha so that the piranha look like they're smiling. No, sorry, his plan is to make the fish smile. He wants to somehow inject piranha with some laughing gas or Joker toxin to make the frown turn into a smile so that he can... so Batman's last thing Batman sees is laughing piranha. And so Harley knows how to fix it, and the way to fix it is to hang Batman upside down, and then the fish look like they're smiling rather than frowning. So that's her plan, and she enacts it really well. She tricks Batman. She says that she wants to talk to him. She wants to finally break away from the Joker. She wants his help. So she's waiting on the docks for him, and he shows up. And when he gets there, she has a fake Joker set up on a boat. And when he jumps to save Harley, Harley injects him. It was as simple as that. As simple as pretending, because Batman just wants to believe people, doesn't he? He just wants to trust that people can change, and he has to believe that, because if he doesn't, then he would have to start killing these bad guys, and he can't bring himself to kill his bad guys. So he has to believe that when they say they want to change, he has to believe them. And there's Harley's prank. She's got him, he's upside down. And this is fantastic, this scene here. Harley has him. She's got Batman. If she drops him now, he's done. There's nothing she could lower just his head and have the piranhas eat his head. He's done. And Batman says as much. When he says that, he tells Harley that Joker's not going to believe her, or Joker's not going to be happy if she kills the Batman without him being there. So Harley phones up Batman. No, she doesn't. She phones up Joker. She's got Batman. She phones Joker. She phones Joker and she's like, "I've got him. I've got Batman. Come and see how well I've done. I did it. I caught him all by myself." And Joker is fuming. He's absolutely livid. So he just rushes down there, and this is where you see their relationship. I mean, this panel alone. Look how this is. For as fun as this book is, you know the relationship between these two. I'm not going to say it because we all know it. We know how abusive it is. There's no need to overemphasize it because these books do such a wonderful job of portraying it, and you just feel for Harley. So he shows up and he's absolutely fuming that she came up with this, that she changed his gimmick, that she captured Batman, that everyone's gonna think that Joker's girlfriend is the one that beat Batman, because it's not Joker. Joker didn't do this. Joker did none of this. So he's fuming that he beats her, and he throws her out of a window. He just throws her, and she should be dead, but luckily, I'm pretty sure in this continuity as well, Poison Ivy has imbued Harley with her toxin that gave her advanced strength and speed and stamina and durability and immunity to all toxins, because there's no way she'd survive this fall otherwise. So once she's out of the picture, Batman tells Joker that Harley got the closest. He manages to get away thanks to the distraction and thanks to the Joker not wanting to kill Batman in the way that Harley came up with. Batman manages to get out and they have an epic fight. I mean, it's an all-out brawl. It starts in the building, it goes down into the street and then out onto a moving train, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's even, like, this part is even better in the animated series, where it's moving, it's all animated and it's fantastic. And Batman tells the Joker, he says, "She almost had me, you know. Arms and legs chained, my belt gone, dizzy from the blood rushing to my head. I had no other way. then convincing her to call you. That I knew your massive ego would never allow anyone the honour of killing me. Though I have to admit, she came a lot closer than you ever did. Pudding. And that just sends the Joker into a frenzy, and that gives Batman the opportunity that he needed. And he just takes him out, and it is fantastic. I look at that page again. They do these great single pages with just, I mean, no tech. All right, they have like a blam and stuff like that, but no talking on these pages. Just a massive splash page like that. It's gorgeous. That is just fantastic. That's a mobile phone screensaver. That would be awesome. And then right at the end, Harley's being taken back to Arkham, and she's just all beaten, bless her. She's just completely done. And the Joker sends her a flower, saying, feel better soon. And that's it, she forgives him. And the cycle continues, and Harley's just gonna continue being with the Joker for a good long while. I mean, she stayed with him for the entire animated series. I don't know if they were going to continue on, if they did, and have them separate, but in the comics, pretty much her first appearance, the first appearance is her being thrown out of no man's land by the Joker in a rocket. She just puts her in a rocket and sends it out of no man's land, and it lands in Gotham Park, and Poison Ivy finds her and saves her. And she's not with the Joker, and she's not with the Joker in any of the DC Universe comics after No Man's Land. And she got her own series where you see just what a great person she is, what a great character, what growth she does. I mean, she grows so much that by the end of her own run, she commits herself into Arkham Asylum because she knows she needs help, and it's just amazing. And well over the first half is drawn by Terry and Rachel Dodson, and it's gorgeous. I mean, they're some of my favourite artists, and it's such a good run, and it shows why Harley is such a great character. And then New 52 started, and they turned her into this. I mean, they had her fall in the acid, just like got Joker, so her skin was bleached white, because this is face makeup. She can take this off any time, and she's got her flesh underneath. So her skin was bleached, so she could never look normal again. And they just made her a joke. I mean, they tried to turn her into Deadpool, and there was no need, because her character was so much more than that. She was so much more than talking to the camera and making jokes and thinking everything is a game. She was so much more meticulous. I mean, she always had a plan, and she was smart, and she could talk her way out of any situation, and not just talk about rubbish and jargon and confuse people. She could actually have a conversation. And you actually see in the comics, when she is not around the Joker or Batman, or even when it's just her and Ivy, and she's just talking, and she drops the silly bimbo accent, and she just talks because she's really intelligent. She's a psychiatrist. She knows things, and you can see that it was an act. She even says to Ivy at one point, she says what the Joker liked. He liked me being dumb. He liked being smarter than everyone. So she put on this persona of just the blonde bimbo, the ditz, the high-pitched voice and things like that. And you see that, and it just makes you just learn so much about the character. It makes you just fall in love with her more and more as you continue to read. So when New 52 just turned her into a fool, and then she got her own run, and yes, the artwork's lovely, I'm not going to lie. Amanda Connor's art is gorgeous, and the writing can be fun at times, but that's not Harley Quinn. It's not the Harley Quinn that we love and that we wanted to see in comics. Me personally, I say we. Me personally, I didn't want to see that. I wanted to see a continuation of the woman that I saw grow from the Joker's girlfriend to her own woman, to it's not even so much an anti-hero, because she did become pretty much a hero by the end of her own run, where she saved a young girl's life, and the heartbreaking decision she had to make along the way. It was fantastic. And then now every issue now is her talking to her stuffed beaver, or she's talking to circus freaks, and she's talking to a giant egg, and it's like, we get it, it's funny, or it's meant to be funny, but the character doesn't have to be funny. She can be interesting. You know, you can let her be interesting. You can give her things to do. You can make her a well-rounded character, someone that has a comedic side, someone that has a serious side, someone that has a loving side. You can make all of them, and you can put them into one person. One person doesn't have to be put in a single box. I mean, especially now, everyone is in every box. So you can take Harley Quinn and you can say, right, when she's around these people, she acts this way. When she's around these people, she acts this way. When she's around Ivy, she's herself. And that's the truth. That's how it's meant to be. But even in books like Harley and Ivy, from the new line, the new series, I mean, obviously I've got them. I've got every Harley book. I'll do a video on all of them at some point. I might have to make about 10 videos to cover my Harley Quinn collection, but I'm sure I will. But even in the Harley and Ivy run, she's still really ditzy and silly and stupid at times, and you think to yourself, this is what new readers think Harley is like. This is what the DC now have made Harley. So what are you supposed to think when you can go back and you can read her 38-issue run of just amazing writing and character development, and you can see just a well-rounded character, just everything from, I mean, yes, she makes quips. There are some great quips from her original run. There are some great comedic moments. I mean, I think the most fantastic thing from her original run, when I do a video on it, I will talk about it as well. But she has this way of going from, when she's about to do something violent, she becomes this animated version, which is fantastic. So you see, if she'll pull out her gun, and it'll be the pop gun, and it'll be in the animated style, and she'll shoot someone in the face. And then we'll see the panel with them on the floor with birds or stars circling their head like a cartoon. But then it'll flash back to the actual comic, the actual drawing of the comic, and you'll see blood and you'll see smoke coming from her actual gun. So what it shows is that she is doing something violent and she is killing someone, but in her head, it's a game, it's a cartoon, it's playful. She's not really killing them, she's just knocking them out with a cork gun or things like that. And that touch to the comic was just absolutely fantastic to show you her mental state. I actually thought she was going to do that in Birds of Prey, in the movie with Margot Robbie, when she's tied to the chair with a Black Mask and he hits her and she does that Marilyn Monroe homage, diamonds are a girl's best friend thing. I thought she was going to then snap out of that and everyone was going to be dead. And in her mind, she had just danced with everyone, but in reality, she had killed everyone. And I thought that was going to be fantastic. And then later in the prison, because earlier in the prison when she's shooting everyone and it's explosions and it's dust, and I thought again that was in her head, but then we were going to see reality and she had just killed everyone. Like there was going to be blood up the walls and, you know, she was using real shells, and I thought that was going to be an absolutely fantastic way of showing what is in Harley's head. In her head, she's innocent, she's playful, it's a cartoon, it's a game. No one's dying when I hit them with a mallet. They just see birds, they get a cartoonish bump grow from the top of their head, like whoop. But in reality, there's blood and brains everywhere because she has just bashed their skull in, and that would be a great way to show why she thinks she's not a bad guy, you know, and why you can then see why she's so okay with all the violence, because in her head when she shoots someone with a shotgun it's actually confetti, so it's just sending them back flying. And that would have been amazing. So if they had done that in Birds of Prey, that would have been absolutely blinding. If she'd have just woke up from that dance routine and everyone was dead and Black Mask was just completely battered and his face was broken, and that's why he wore the mask and that's why he was after Harley, that would have been, in my opinion, that would have been fantastic. But I've gone off topic because I was talking about Mad Love, but this is what happens when I talk about Harley. I just go off on one and I can talk for hours on Harley, and I'm not going to bore you anymore because this video is nearly 25 minutes long and that's too long. I'm sorry for that. Watch it in 2 parts. Oh, it's a bit late to say that. I should go back and tell you to watch it in 2 parts. Okay, I'm going to go. I'm on Facebook, facebook.com/Dawn of Comics. I'm also on Twitter @Dawn of Comics. I'm on Instagram. I don't really use Instagram as much as I should. I'll try. I will post these on Instagram, I'm sure, but it will just be these. So if I'm telling you to go over there for more of this, there's no point. So yeah, Twitter and Facebook, I suppose. Facebook has hundreds of reviews. We've got loads of written reviews. I even did a written review for Mad Love a couple of years ago. I did it on Valentine's Day. I couldn't think of a more appropriate book to review on Valentine's Day than Mad Love, so I did that. So pop over, give it a read, let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be complimentary. You can be mean to me. It's absolutely fine. I've got thick skin. So yeah, I'm going to go, and I will see you in a week with another video. Hopefully you come back. I'd really like you to come back. Please come back. All right. I'm going to go because I want a cup of tea. Probably coffee. Oh, it's a bit late for coffee. Cup of tea. All right. See you later. Bye.